Welcome to the SmartScout playlist. In this playlist, I'll be going over how to use SmartScout for your business, how it can benefit your business, and how to use it. So first of all, we have the UPC scanner. So the UPC scanner is essentially like an EAN scanner or an ASIN scanner for if you have price lists from wholesalers, etc. To start using the scanner, you click up here to start a new scan, and it'll open up this little tab box for you. So you can name your search whatever it is. So if you name it for whatever wholesaler you're using, for example, you can name it as that. For the purpose of this demonstration, we'll just call it demo. So the product ID type that we'll be using to identify the products will be the GTINs of the products. So it'll be the EANs essentially. So we can change the product ID type to EAN. We then need to grab the file. So you can either just enter the product ID followed by a comma with the product cost, following that the selling price that you'll sell it as, or you can just drag and drop your files. So I'm just going to drag and drop the files in here. The title is obviously the title of the file. Does your file contain column headers? So obviously if your file does contain the column headers, you may keep it as yes. On the other hand, you may also keep it as no. So I'm going to say no, my file does not contain column headers. So product ID, the product ID, which column is it in? I'd then go to the file itself and see that the product ID is in column 1 and the product cost is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Product cost is in 5. Now the selling cost I'm going to leave blank, because I don't know, I don't know what the price is that I'm going to sell these at. It's not a set price. It will be dictated by the buy box. So I'll import these in. So I'll calculate the profit from the buy box if there is no selling price. Obviously I didn't put in a selling price, so it's going to calculate that selling price from the buy box, and then we'll get an idea of the profit and the margin. From there we just click scan products and it'll upload those products into a scan. Now obviously based on how many products you have will depend on how long the scan takes. So with a large amount of items, 900 to 1000 or more, it could take a while. As you can see, it's currently queued, it's taking its time to work through the scanning. We will revisit this when we get to that point. 910 figure represents the number of items we had in the original file, and that SmartScout has been able to identify 769 of these items. You can see that we uploaded it on this date, the last scan was done on this date, and this is the identifier for the product. Now we have 3 options: to delete, to rescan, or view results. I'm going to view the results. The columns are displayed as follows. You've got the product ID, you've got the product cost, the selling price. If you've got a selling price you know you're going to sell it at. We don't, however. We are being dictated by the buy box price. SmartScout then pulls the FBA fee, the referral fee, and the storage fee to generate you some figures. These figures are your net profit, your net margin, your ROI. SmartScout will then determine whether or not the product is a potential winner. It'll give you the BSR rank. It'll give you an Amazon in-stock rate for 90 days for Amazon as a seller, not as a marketplace, as a seller. It will give you the number of sellers on the listing. This will include the amount of FBM sellers. It'll also then show you the number of FBA sellers only. It'll give you an estimation of the monthly units sold, buy box equity, whether the product is out of stock or not, and then if there is a dominant seller. This will help you identify whether it is a private label product or not. Then we've got the ASIN and the title at the end. What can we do with it? We can have a look and see which of these products will give us an ROI that we maybe want the highest. So we perhaps only want products that filter down to 30% minimum. So we'll be able to see 30% minimum products. Maybe we want only a net profit of £5. We can filter these to be only £5 at the minimum. Maybe we only want a net margin of 15% perhaps. we can filter these down to our criteria that we want to set. We don't want to sell anything with a BSR over 100,000. That's the general rule for most sellers. So you want to change this to 100,000. We can then flip this to here, so we can see the products at the top and the products at the bottom. Now we don't want to see anything with a -1, so if we just put a minimum of 1 and filter again, we get to see here the products filtered into a nice, easy to understand format. We can then have a look at the Amazon in stock rate. We don't want to compete with Amazon. Having Amazon always in stock, they could potentially always be the dominant seller. In this case, they're not so much. But then again, I don't think we want to run that risk. I'm going to change that Amazon in stock rate to a maximum of 50%. Now, number of sellers we can keep the same as it is. It includes FBM sellers. However, the number of FBA sellers, we need to ensure it's not a private label product. So I'm going to set a minimum of 3 FBA sellers, so to ensure we're not picking out private label product. The estimated monthly sold units. In general, if you're going for wholesale or online arbitrage, you want a product that sells. Even if it was one of these 2 products down the bottom, provided that they haven't got as much competition, which they don't based on the FBA here, you could compete onto these products here. However, with a wholesaler option, you may want to go for the higher amount of units sold, like this one here. So we're then going to go all the way to the end here and just have a look at the dominant seller versus the title, and just understand if there are any issues or could potentially be any private labels. So WP Consultants obviously does not match the title or the brand name on there, so could essentially not be private label issue. We've filtered down our products. Now we want to look at, we can either view the product straight into Amazon, or we can click here and go to details. So this will give us a brief overview of the product itself. We can see that from the buy box history, WP Consultants, whom we mentioned earlier on, makes a monthly revenue estimate of around £19,000 and sells for the latest price of around £16. They do, however, hold the majority of the buy box. They are indeed FBA. We can go back in time just to see if there are any other FBA sellers here on this listing. As you can see, WP Consultants tend to hold the majority of the buy box. If we head to the history tab, it's essentially like Keeper or SAS. We can just have a history of the price the listing has been sold at. We can go 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 1 year, and all time. You can also see the sales rank. Lastly, we can see the reviews and we can see the offers. Reviews in blue, the offer count in purple. So we can then zoom in to any specific time to see if we could find any problems. For example, a new offer count from 20 down to 6 could suggest an IP complaint, but this is something we'd have to delve further into when we get to the listing. So some of the key features of SmartScout that makes it stand out from the others is some of these features here that I'll explain to you now. The traffic sources allows you to view which ASINs other people are purchasing when they purchase this product. So when you're on Amazon, you buy a product, it says to you also frequently bought. These 2 products would come up when the main product is purchased. Now that gives you the opportunity to target which other products that you can go for and try and source at a profitable price. The traffic strength being 600 means that it's relatively strong between this blue product here and our original product here, which is an orange colour. So if you can source this product, you know that you can most likely make sales between the two of them. As per usual software, you can check whether it's got a variation on the listing. In this case, we can see that it does. We can see whether it's a shared variation using the BSR. Furthering on from this, we can see any other marketplaces that the product is being sold in. So we already know that it's being sold in the UK. We've set our marketplace to the UK. We can see the ASIN, we can see the marketplace, the title, the brand, category, the rank, so on and so forth. We can also see that the product is being sold in Germany. Not a great deal of sales per month, but also not a great deal of competition, with a number of sellers and number of FBA sellers being only one. Then you'd be able to see if you could source the product. So now we can go over the traffic graph. The traffic graph is useful and can be useful for when you are creating bundles, if you're creating bundles or unique bundles for your own store. In the keywords box here, we'll simply input an ASIN or a keyword we would want to search for. For example, I already have a pre-existing ASIN to search, so we'd input that, we press search. Now the main purpose of the traffic graph is to be able to show you which products people are buying when they find the product that you're selling, for example. So this product here that I've just searched the ASIN for, if we zoom into, we can see that when people buy this product, they purchase what is connected to it on the orange line. So if we then zoom out and navigate across, we can see that people are also buying this product here, as well as this product here. Further than that, we can see the products that people purchase before they get to this product. So this product is found when people purchase this product here, or this product here, this product here, this product here, this product here, or this product down here. So what can we do in this scenario? Well, if we could find a wholesaler that could provide both the products, we could potentially bundle them together to create a unique bundle specifically for these two products. Further in that, say you found a supplier for this Saint Tropez product. Say that you were already selling it and you knew that it was a safe seller, it was generating you a decent amount of income or profit or revenue from this product alone. You'd be able to use the SmartScout function here on the traffic graph to identify which product you could potentially make a bundle for. And if you can source those products, obviously that'd be even better, and you could really make this bundle work. So your orange line is which products do people go to when they've found your product, or this specific product. And the purple lines is which product do people come from. So when people buy this product, they also go to this product here. It gives you multiple bits of information about the product, including the ASIN, the brand, category, the rank, number of sellers, estimated monthly revenue estimate, the review count, review rating, how much Amazon's in stock, number of FBA sellers, buy box price, whether or not the product is out of stock, and then the product page score. First of all, this product is bought, and then this product is bought afterwards. Now the interesting thing here is there is so many other products that then attached to the traffic source for this product. This seems to be like a hub for activity when it comes to other products, which really means that if you was to bundle this item with this item, for example, you'd also be able to create bundles for this item and this item and this item and this item, and then you could be adventurous and start bundling these two together with this one. So it allows you to open up a whole new product range just from this one product that you originally sold. Further in that, it's good to see the purple line is also the same product as the orange line. So we just move over and just zoom in here. See that this product here and this product here are slightly different. It looks like it's a similar product, just a different size. So when a customer purchases this product, they also move to this product, which is very interesting in the way of, if you supply both these products, you can increase the traffic into both of the products themselves and in turn create more revenue. Now, this is great because you can also see that this product links to this product, and again, it allows you to create like a triangle. So you can create one product here with these two linking together, and another product here with these two linking together, and then you can create a third product, for example, or third bundle, where you have two sizes of it with the tanning mitt. You can see that we've started from this small product here that we potentially already know sells, and we can now create a bundle of two sizes of a product, or we can create a bundle of one product and a tanning mitt and branch out from there to a tanning mitt and other products. Great. Now we'll look at sellers. So the seller tab here, which shows you all the sellers in your marketplace, in this case the Amazon UK marketplace. Now I want to see all of the FBA only sellers, so I've got a minimum of 100% FBA, and it will show me only FBA sellers, like full FBA sellers. Now if I wanted to check if they were just wholesale, I would put the full brand coverage of maybe 4 to 8 brands to see if they were just wholesale and they were covering specific brands. Further in that, if I want to check OA, for example, I could put a maximum of, well, OA is unlimited really, you can put as many brands in as you want. I might want to put a minimum of at least 5 different brands in. Further in that, I now want to bring the criteria down a little bit. So the estimated monthly revenue for, if it was someone, it was potentially with my amount of experience, I would be generating a maximum of around 15,000 per month. So this would show people and show me sellers in my experience level, so to speak. So their full brand coverage are around these numbers. This amount of ASINs, this is sort of the area where I would be at if I was at 15k revenue per month, just slightly shy of 100 ASINs per seller. It will show you the state and the country. Now we'll want to filter to just the Great British sellers, so we'll filter the country here, and we'll give an even more intensive amount of sellers. We're shown the business name, the number of brands that they're selling, and their growth from the month, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, etc, etc. The dates they started selling, URL, and then you can put any notes in here at the end. Further in this, we might want to filter by the top ASINs count, just to ensure that we don't get any private label, but it seems that we haven't got any anyway, so that would be no issue. If we really wanted to whittle them down, obviously if we wanted to take it further, we can take the number of ASINs, change that to 100 as a maximum, to really try and see if we can get people that are sellers that are in the same boat as us, so to speak. Because unfortunately there is no review count button that we can change. So these are the criteria points that we could change for us to be able to find someone that is our level. So then we want to find a brand that doesn't seem to have one of those main commercial sort of names. So, you know, Medibargains sounds like it could be potentially a large store that sells, you know, wholesale, etc., etc. Whereas if we head down to a store like Devil Deal or something like CMJ Trading, for example, we can go into their details and head and look at their offers. So from here we can have a quick look. Fortunately, these products don't appear to be branded products until you go over to the brand. You see CMJ, so this is a private label. We X out that one. We will actually take a look at Medibargains because I may have looked at them incorrectly. So I have a quick look here. Fashion sort of stuff. Medi. Have a look at the brand name. Medicounter. A lot of them seem to be private label products. Again, we'll leave that. We'll take a look at Devil Deal for their offers. Again, private label, and we can take a look at Bell's Box. Go through the sellers until we find something that is potentially branded a bit more. Here we go. So we've got a few mixed ones here. We've got some branded ones here and a few non-branded ones here. Now we're just going to have to look into these. Go to details, because it says brand impressive, manufacturer impressive. But if we have a look at the ASIN on Amazon, and then further in that, have a look at the product itself. So the brand does say impressive. Unfortunately, up there, if we go far enough back, we can see that there's been a previous IP complaint worth investigating. And then we'll go back to the offers tab here. We can have a look at if we match the brand name with the product name, which doesn't match. Offers here we are. So we've got Fire Dragon product here, brand name matches here. I'm going to investigate this one. Details, we can see that it's got four sellers on the listing. Monthly revenue estimate of about $2,000. Good review count, good review rating. Amazon is in stock only 2% of the time. A relatively high box price. It's not out of stock. SmartScout deems it to be an alright product. The manufacturer matches the brand. Have a look here at the 6 month graph and all the way back. So it is dominated by BCB International Limited as the FBA buy box coverer. We can also still obviously have a look at the product itself. So we're going to history here. We can have a look at the 30 days. You can see that it's held strong at £9. Head to 90 days. Buy boxes again held strong at £9. And a year held strong around £9, dropped to £8 previously. We can have a quick look on the graph. No immediate issues of IP complaints. Even if we go back to a year, it is something worth investigating here at this point. We won't worry about looking at the marketplaces for this item because we need to make sure it actually sells first and do our other analysis. It's not a variation listing, and in the future we can have a look at traffic sources to see if it has any traffic in or out of this product. Now we'll go to investigate this product via Amazon. It does say it's currently unavailable, although it does mention that it's not out of stock. Again, Fire Dragon, so I'd say it's good to start. It's got no one's selling it at the moment, so I would suggest that the product is sold. It has indeed sold out due to sales, because there is no IP complaint history that is there that stands out. We'll have a look at the buy box history. Out of stock just now. Firefly Barbecue as an FBM, UK Direct as FBA, another FBA, another FBA there. So we can see here that there are plenty of FBA sellers that have been on the buy box that haven't been the brand, to suggest that it could be a product that we could look into. So as we know, previously sold at $8.89. So $8.89 means we've got a max cost of 98p. Now, unless we're getting it direct from the brand, we might have a difficult time to try and find this. So we'll just give ourselves an extra legroom of £1.07 for £9. So obviously you can go straight into OA, search for the product on Google, and we can have a look and see Fire Dragon Gel Firelighter Transparent 1 litre, and we can see that straight away we've been given a result by Trade Point here. For Fire Dragon Firelighters 1 litre, we do not offer home delivery, unfortunately, but there is that possibility that you can buy this product from the clearance section here on Trade Point, and then obviously you go in and investigate Fire Dragon suppliers to see if you could find the supplier for Fire Dragon, or if you could find it from them themselves. Let's go ahead and open up SAS just so I can get the product details, just so we can match it up. Fire Dragon Firelighters 1 litre, Fire Dragon Gel Firelighter Transparent 1 litre. May also like details. So the product code here matches to the EAN number, so we can that is evidence that it's correct. We know that it was previously selling at £8.89. We're going to round that to 9 because it has been selling at 9 in the past. We have found it, including VAT, as £1. So this product in itself will generate over £2 profit per unit and an ROI of over 200%. And we have found that using SmartScout through the sellers page. So we have gone through, and from finding what other people have already sold, we've managed to find a product that has previously sold well, unfortunately is currently out of stock, but we can also find it through TradePoint here and sell it at a very profitable price. Now we can have a look at the seller map. So the seller map allows us to search by seller name, category, seller type, whether they're private label or reseller, monthly revenue, and then the maximum number of sellers in an area. So say for example we wanted to have a look at a reseller that sold in garden and outdoors, did maximum monthly revenue of maybe £50,000. We'll be able to search, and the map would then show us these specific sellers. So of course we want to focus on the UK. It doesn't really matter where, you may not think it matters where you search for, you can search somewhere up in Scotland, but bear in mind the people that you search that are closer to you, they might be buying it from areas closer to them, so they're getting cheaper shipping discounts, for example, because it's not as far to ship. So for this example, let's say we live over here in this part of the country. So down here from the key we can see resellers are in purple, private label is in yellow. So obviously, since we've selected reseller and not private label, we're only going to see the resellers anyway. We can hover over, we can see what the brand name, the company name is, the seller name is, and their estimated monthly revenue. So we can aim for someone that is potentially doing around the same figures as us. Say we are doing, around I'll have a look at someone. We'll go to this one here, Yate GM, 22,000 roughly. So got the details. We can have a look at the offers. Again, we can just have a look at if they're branded products. So some of these are branded products here. Unfortunately, some of them aren't. So for that reason, I'm just going to head back out, head to another one, offers. Gonna have a look here. They are branded products to AMZ brand, which sounds like it could be private label. But this one, for example, the Capture, we're going to have a look at it just to have a look anyway. The Capture has a number of sellers, it doesn't say, but the buy box is held by them specifically. Just going to have a look anyway. So scroll down quickly to the keeper chart. It does only say one seller, so we're going to safely assume that actually is private label. We'll come out of that one. So now we can have a look over different parts of the map. We can zoom in. We can have a look at this one here, for example. Look at the offers. So we've got a Maybelline branded product here. We've got other products that aren't branded products from this seller. We do have this main one here, so we'll have a look at the details. Currently 12 sellers on that listing here. Go in, have a look at the ASIN itself through Amazon. but we can also get a quick breakdown. So this is the seller we're currently looking at, but the estimated monthly revenue for the person that holds the buy box the most, Tools for Beauty Limited, is around 2.5k, and their latest price is 778. Although they haven't been holding the buy box the most recent, it still gives you a rough overview of how much they have been over the past month. Go back to 3 months, you can see that they've actually stocked for a fair amount of time over the past 3 months. Some of these stores are intermittent stores, like the seller we've looked at originally. Some of these stores are first time stores, some of these stores are more recent. You can then have a deeper dive into the history, and it's essentially like the keeper graph. 30 days, buy box of around £8 down to £7 to £8. 90 days, we'll have a broader look at it, and it looks like it might have been suppressed at some point. There's no buy box on the listing, but there's FBA, FBM and Amazon there. The sales rank might be worth investigating this point here. And then the reviews are steady, the offer count is also steady. You can see that it is a variation listing. So the way that I check my variation listings is with product viewer. Head into product viewer. If they're the same or roughly the same, we can assume that it's shared variation, which it appears to be, which means we'll have to use the variation checker through SAS. Now we'll just double check color name other. Now SAS only pulls the last 19 reviews, and as we can see, this product has had reviews over 50,000 reviews. Now if we see 500 bought in the past month, we can safely assume that this affects only this ASIN. We'll scroll down and just double check the reviews in general. Not everyone leaves a review. It'd be great if they did, not everyone does. But we'll have a quick look, see if it comes up with anything in other. Now the majority of them are very black. That's again only reviews, and reviews do not dictate sales. If Amazon has said 500 bought in the past month, that is related to that ASIN variation and that ASIN variation only. So we know that this is a selling product. Obviously we can have a look through OA again to go see if we can find it at a cheap price online arbitrage. I would suggest that we would not be able to find it for £3.33 through OA, so I would go about suggesting finding a supplier for Maybelline or contacting Maybelline Brand Direct. If we tick the plus here, we can add it to a new collection or an existing collection, and we call it Wholesale Opportunities. Which will save it into my collections here. We can go into brands to have a look at the brands, which would normally pick up Maybelline, the subcategories, the product, sellers, and scope if you have that feature unlocked. But as for this, we've pulled this from the products page, so it will come under the products tab. Okay, so next we'll take a look at the brands. Take a look at the brands feature of SmartScout. So here you can search for any brand. For example, I'll take Plackers as an example. So we'll put this in and it will search for it. Here we can have a look at the products, sellers, subcategories, any search terms, the marketplaces, scope, suppliers, and we can add it to one of our collections. We'll head to the dashboard for now. The tabs are all up here anyway. So product opportunities, title, opportunity score, product score page, 30-day sales growth, and in-stock rate. Whether that product is in stock on Amazon or not, as a marketplace, not a seller. So you can obviously see that we've got quite good opportunity scores here, quite good product page scores here. 9.1 is a good product page score. So we can see that with Plackers, there is an estimated monthly revenue of 22.5k. Brand score in general gets about an 8%, and average opportunity score is around 5.3. So it has three subcategories. We've got floss, flossers and floss picks, and grind guards. We've got that as a pie chart, as bar graphs for each different subcategory. So the flossers and floss picks make up 14k, grind guards take up around 7k, and the floss takes around 2k. Plackers, SmartScout found 20 profitable Plackers products, 80% FBA market share. So 80% of the sellers are doing FBA. It's got 4.5 stars, so that's a good start. And it's got over 120,000 reviews. Average price is around £15.24, so that's a good price to be aiming for when we want to have good margins. You know, anything even above £10 is good, and if anything above £8 is equally as good, provided that it's a small-ish product, which for example this one is very small. Now sellers wise, per listing, an average number of sellers of 6.2. So that's 4 average FBA sellers and about 2 average non-FBA sellers. Buy box win rate is around 55% for this seller here. So it's a bit of competition, but it's not competition from Amazon. Again, average FBA sellers here is 4, and average Amazon in stock rate is only 6%. So we don't have to compete with Amazon here. This will be competing against this Bliss sales seller here. We can see the revenue share by seller. We'll be able to filter this by the top to the bottom. As predicted, we can see that the revenue is held predominantly from this seller. We can also see the top performing products, how many sellers are on there, the price of the buy box, and the sales rank revenue of that product. And again, subcategories by the market share and the product opportunities. So now we want to have a look at the products themselves. So with wholesale, my general rule is nothing over 20,000 in the BSR. So I'll search for those. I don't want Amazon in stock. We already know that Amazon isn't, so we don't need to worry about this configuring this. We do, however, want to make sure that there's a specific amount of sellers on the listing, ideally FBA sellers. So we're just going to filter this to a minimum of 3 FBA sellers here. All of them are reasonably good with product page score, so we can leave that as it is, and then we'll just filter it down to the lowest BSR rank first. So we can see Amazon's not in stock for this product. There's 8 sellers. It's currently not out of stock, but it's certainly not one of the highest selling products, but it does make the most monthly estimated revenue. And there are only 5 FBA sellers on there at the moment. So we're just going to dive into this product, go to details. Again, we can open it up in Amazon, have a look at the buy box share here. So, as you can see, seems to be reasonably shared around all of the sellers that are on the listing in the past month. You can head back to the past 6 months and still see the same outcome. Not a variation listing. You can see if there's any traffic sources, the general history, with a reasonably steady price. Again, 90 days seems to be a reasonably steady price. You can check on the marketplaces again, in case we did want to sell in any other areas. So the UK, $4,000 of course, but in Mexico this product seems to be doing exceedingly well with around 17k worth of estimated monthly revenue. However, it does have only one number of FBA sellers, so it could potentially be private label, but it's something to look into in the future. So we'll head over to the listing on Amazon. So first of all, the brand name doesn't quite match for placards here, but this is something that you'd go to Google for, and you would just search whether they have any links at all. Just to double check anyway, you go down to Keeper, see if there's been any IP issues or anything. In the last year, no IP issues where anything has happened that's untoward. Steady fall off here, and the steady fall off here. Likewise, steady fall offs over here. Again, I would suggest that there's nothing wrong with selling this product. 24 to 19, yeah, I'd suggest nothing wrong with this product to be sold, so it's a safe product. Now, we'd be able to then see that the sellers on this listing are relatively low in stock, but that doesn't mean that we can't find it as a wholesale product from placards if we need to. So you can see that the price is, if we go to the month, it has been selling at this price here, but it also has sold at this price here. So we'll take the worst case scenario, head it to 25. So we're looking at a maximum cost of $12.87. So then we could go to the brand themselves and ask them, hey, I'd like to buy this product, do you sell it? If you don't sell it, do you have any distributors that you can, do you have any authorized distributors that you can give me their contact details for, or pass my contact details onto them, just to try and source that product for yourself. Also, of course, you can have a look on Amazon, on Google, sorry. But finding the £12, it may be more difficult than you think. Or what? $12.87. So this is a false website. It says Harrow's Natural History, however it comes up with Curry's, means it is a false website. Again, $12.68 it's the price that you want it to be, but you're Richmond, you want to have a double check. Yeah, comes with Curry's, so someone has made it look like Curry's, put it at the price that you want it to be, and it's a false, fraudulent website, so just be careful of that. As for anything else, the analysis checks out, the product sells. It would just be a case of sourcing the product. So what would you do to find that product? You'd obviously, like I say, you'd go and search for the product via speaking to the brand directly and asking them if they sell it themselves, or if they don't, if they can give you any authorized distributors' contact details. But to save this product for a later date, into the plus button again, and then new wholesale opportunities, and then that's saved for your next time that you want to look into it. So you could go through different brands, search for different brands, build up a collection of brand opportunities, and then at the end of it, deep dive into sourcing for the brands that you've discovered. So in here you can find a subcategory or a niche that you want to focus in on. So say you want to focus on garden and outdoors, and then you want to focus on, say it's summertime, you want to focus on pools, hot tubs and supplies. You want to look at filters, pumps and accessories, and then you want to look at filter cartridges. You can go to the dashboard, then again it will come up with different tabs here. It's got a good average review rating, good average selling price, and an excellent monthly revenue estimate. Amazon to seller ratio on the revenue share 17 to 83, so just not competing with Amazon that much. A good category to look at. So we delve into the subcategory and then into the brands. So we've got the brands here. Obviously you can have a look at the market share for each brand, the market share change, the dominant seller country, the average number of sellers, estimated monthly units sold, number of basins, etc, etc. Now we're going to change this just to Great Britain. There we go. So now we're going to delve into the products themselves. And say you didn't want to sell a variation, you could change it to no. You want to make sure that it has sellers in there, of course, so could always put that to a minimum of 1 seller, but we want to make sure that there's a minimum of 3 FBA sellers on the listing, so we're left with this here. We've got some best way products and we've got some in-text products. Now not every product is going to be a winner, of course, but if we're looking at wholesale, my max BSR generally is 20,000, so that just leaves us with the best way and the in-text. Again, we can delve into the details tab. We can have a look at the number of sellers here is 32, and it generates just under 2k worth of monthly revenue estimate. The buy box is reasonably shared between each of these sellers here, and the monthly revenue estimate is, for these top 3 for example, it's relatively high. Gives you an estimate of the price they're selling at, so considering they're winning the buy box quite a bit with a higher price, gives you a good estimate as to what price you can actually sell your units at. So we can have a look at if there's any traffic sources, which is not. We can have a look at the history of the product in general. For all time, you can go down to 30 days, for example. Sales rank, and then the offers count down here. Seems to be steady, no issues. Now we'll go to details, review the products on Amazon. So 200 bought in the last month is however a twin pack, so we just need to be bearing that in mind. So it has been selling at this steady £7.39 sort of price. You can see that very well. Now Again, we can see that these sellers have been. This seller, for example, has a lot of reviews, so they're most likely got a lot of capital to invest into their products. As with this one, but this one obviously 30 plus with only 19 reviews, relatively new seller, so they might be able to find that wholesale and then sell it at that price, unless they're losing money drastically. So this would be straight away looking at, because we already know that SmartScout's picked it up as a product that sells plenty. It also generates a lot of income for a lot of revenue, for sellers. It sells, and we know that it sells well. We know that we could we can try to pick it up from a wholesaler, and this would end up going into our wholesale opportunities list. Again, another example of a product would be, if we go to the Intex one, number of sellers 14, not out of stock, and the buy box price is £8.67. Again, reasonably low one, it's worth investigating anyway. So it's a set of 2, it is a 1 pack, but it's a set of 2. Amazon's on this listing. Any IP issues? Past year has been okay. Nothing major there. Nothing major there. Nothing major there. Nothing major there. I would say that this is a safe listing to sell on. Has it been selling? It's sold. Estimated sales of 36 a month. How many did SmartScout suggest? It suggested, to go to products, 65. So Keeper then says 37, so we can sort of take an average of the 2. Go to the month, and if we really wanted to, we could count the drops. Go ahead if you really would like to. But it's been a very steady sale price of £8.49 from this seller here. So we can just check if FBA have had that buy box at all, which unfortunately they don't seem to have had until it was all the way back here when it was around 926 to 862. So I feel like based on that you could probably just raise the price. This FBA has got the wrong idea. Maybe they may be selling 1 or 2 perhaps, with their £10.79 being above being so overpriced over the FBM. But alternatively, you could sell for $9.99 to avoid the fee charge as well. You'd also be under Amazon but above the FBM, still increase your chances of selling. And then you just need to source for the $1.99 price from Intex. So that'd be calling up the brand or emailing the brand saying, do you sell this product as wholesale? If so, how much is it, and what you're selling, terms and conditions. Furthering that, if they don't, you need to ask them whether they have any authorized distributors and if they can provide those to you. Then last but not least, we've covered the subcategories, the brands, the sellers, the traffic graph, the product. SmartScout has its own built-in sales estimator based off the best sellers rank and what category it is. We've gone over the UPC scanner, and it also shows you top new products.